Are you asking yourself, should I invest in Nvidia? Or do you want to know why I am investing in Nvidia? Well, in this video, I'm going to give you a brief overview of why I think Nvidia is a good stock for you to hold in your portfolio. Stick around until the end to hear a rumour that could link Nvidia to a huge contract that's currently covered by its main competitor AMD. Hello and welcome. I'm Wayne from WES Investments, bringing you stock market news, portfolio updates, and training on how to make money in the market, all on this channel. So if you're new here, consider subscribing and hitting the bell so you're notified by my new videos. Now, to cover the boring bits first, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial professional. Everyone's financial situation is different. You should not consider this or any video you find on YouTube as a financial advice. Now, with Nvidia, I like to break the business down into three segments: its main graphics card or GPU business, the data center side of the business, and finally the R&D new concept side. The first two should be obvious, but the third part is basically everything else, because to me the other segments are still under development and have, as far as I can tell, not become stable, profitable parts of the business yet. So let's start with the historic base part of the business, the GPUs. There are two main markets for this segment: gaming and crypto mining. With crypto mining, there was a bit of a lull in 2019. However, this year many crypto coins have jumped quite high, including Bitcoin and Ethereum. Ethereum is up nearly 400% since its March lows. Now, why does the price of crypto matter to Nvidia? Well, the process works a bit like this. The price of cryptos go up. It becomes hugely profitable to mine. People invest in mining machines. Coins are mined. More coins in the market brings the price down. People stop mining. Price drops further, and then people start to buy it again. People get excited by the climb and start buying more, pushing the price higher, faster, and it becomes profitable to mine again. The cycle continues. However, once the crypto hype has finished, this may end up being a lot slower cycle, but will likely remain as long as people are using the cryptocurrencies. Either way, these will be harder and harder to mine, needing better GPUs, which will mean the purchase of the latest GPUs. All of this should mean that we see growing demand for GPUs from this market. Now, within the gaming segment, new games are constantly outdoing each other with bigger and better graphics or just more moving parts. It's important to note that the graphics card is not just about the image quality, but about how the game plays. The more complex the game is, the more going on, the better the graphics card that is needed. There is no end in sight at the progression of games, so it's very probable that this part of the business will not only continue strongly, but will also grow considerably as computer games become far more mainstream and accepted. Moving on to the data centers, with the recent acquisition of Mellanox and the latest Omniverse RTX server, Nvidia is really planting its flag into data centers. We already know that there is a massive continual growth with data centers, and we know that the global pandemic has caused a bigger push into data centers and remote working. But I think this push will be even bigger than we were expecting. Even staunch advocates for not working from home are now starting to realise the benefits. Think about it this way: if you realise that you can scale down your office space considerably and use data centers instead to allow considerable working from home, this could save a huge amount of costs, including electric and various other costs, as well as your actual rent space. Combine this with the fact that your staff normally spend an hour or two commuting to work. Now, instead, they have extra free time that they on average end up using to work, mostly, but can also use for free time personal space as well. Both of these make the worker more productive and also happier in their job. This is a win for both employers and employees. and many of the expected problems with working from home just don't appear to be coming into fruition. And on top of all of this, I want you to think of companies like Disney, Netflix, and Comcast, who've been unable to make films and TV shows due to the pandemic. Well, imagine now that you could organise actors to meet up on a small set of people with the green screen. Films could be created remotely, with much of the work completed via data centres, and with Nvidia's new Omniverse RTX server, they wouldn't even need high-end computers to do it. They could log in via a basic device and just use the computing power of the data center to make the edits. The same is true for computer games. All of these things can be done remotely, and at the core of it is Nvidia. So I think that shows a huge amount of growth over the next couple of years at least. Moving on to the third and final segment, research and development. Now, there is a lot of potential with so much of the extra activities that Nvidia is carrying out. The research and development going into all of these elements is phenomenal. The technology being worked on could be considered as market disrupting in many different categories. For me, the main areas that are being developed are AI, Internet of Things, autonomous vehicles, robots and warehouse management. And Nvidia only needs one of these elements to pay off, and we could be looking at a whole new leap for the company in value. At the moment, Nvidia makes a ton of money that it generally invests very wisely and makes great returns on that cash. For this kind of investment, you need to be able to trust in the management team and trust that they can pull this off and make some great new products. I have a lot of faith in the Nvidia team. The work they have come up with so far is groundbreaking, and if you want to have a good look for yourself, go to the investors page of the Nvidia website. Now, there is one part of this that I'm not so confident with, and if you know me already, you may have been able to guess this already, but it's the self-driving technology for the cars. I'm not sure Nvidia will be the first to be there. They may well get a real great point where they can use this technology and skills learned in other areas. And I think the self-driving itself will be won by either Tesla or Waymo. And I think you know who my money is on. That being said, I do not think that this is a waste of Nvidia's time, because I think the development and the skills learned will transfer and will help with inroads in other areas that they're working on. I think they will also end up selling this technology onto the other car manufacturers, and they will make their money back and probably plenty more on top of that. But I don't think it's going to be the jewel on the crown. The end-to-end process that Nvidia is moving towards gives me a lot of confidence with this company. Not only do I believe that they have a very strong and steady business for the business that is growing, but I believe that they have the right people in the business to help this grow substantially over the next 5 years. And I think the Nvidia we know now will be very different in a few years' time. On that note, I'd like to thank you for staying this long and share with you my gossip and theory on where it could lead. If you've watched my previous videos, you may have noticed that I've mentioned before that SoftBank is considering selling ARM architecture to Nvidia. Quick Google if you don't know who ARM architecture is, but they're a UK-based company. There are many different benefits for Nvidia from the purchase of ARM. However, the one that I think could be a real game changer is that Apple have recently ditched Intel and are now planning to focus on building their own processor using ARM architecture. Apple are renowned for trying to keep things as simple as possible, and using one provider could be a sensible step here. So, if Apple are using the architecture for the processor from Nvidia, they could also start to use a graphics card that has been built specifically for this architecture. Currently, Apple uses AMD. So, if Nvidia can pull this off, this could be a huge win for them, not only for getting new revenue, but also damaging their competitor. So, there you have it. These are the reasons that I believe Nvidia will be making a lot of money in the near and distant future, and will cause the share price to continue its rapid climb. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please hit the like button and comment below to help me with video engagement. I will reply to any comment below, so if you have any comments or questions, just make them below. Thanks for your time and see you next video.